Everybody understood that maybe one day we will run out of money and that's going to be it. But we didn't want to kind of accept that defeat. I landed in New York, I opened newspaper, and I saw the news that Lehman Brothers failed. You initially you assume GoodData was such a small company. How could I be affected by this? This is something that affects big banks, but I'm going to raise a couple $1 million, and that's going to be easy. And I've done it before, and I did it in very difficult times before. So I didn't expect any major change. I just noticed that, and I said, well, that's bad timing, and that happened to me before. So one day I had dinner with my friend who actually was VC, who is not VC anymore, and he told me that I have no chance of raising money. That essentially VCs at that time didn't have enough money for their existing portfolios. They need to first weed out the existing portfolio companies that were not going to make it, and so my chance of actually raising money was exactly zero. And I realized that this is absolutely serious. That this is probably the most serious time of my life. I cannot just give up. I will have to kind of fight for this. So I left that dinner and I started to plan some sort of emergency planning. What is it that we're gonna do as a company to extend our runway? I looked at it and I said, well, this is gonna take a long time, and I have to actually make some sacrifices. I like transparency, so I went back to my people and I said, look, this is more serious than anybody would have ever expected. I asked everybody, what's the minimal amount of cash they actually need that month? There was always this kind of expectation that I would actually pay the rest later, but in order to cut cash, we essentially delayed most of the payments. That's how you extend your runway, is that you don't pay, for anything you don't need to pay. You tell people, well, I'm going to pay you in 6 months. And with employees, it's difficult when people have, families and mortgages and so on. So everybody I had to make some sort of a special arrangement. How much money do you need? But the beauty of the fact that it was a global crisis, that made it very obvious for everybody that I didn't make it up. That's not my fault. That it was in newspapers everywhere. So that's why we all approached it very differently, and we said, this is we will survive this. I do believe that being able to survive this kind of event makes the company stronger. If you look at history of high tech, the best companies were always created in some sort of a crisis. They didn't start in the booms. They started in 80s. They started at the time, Google got big in post 2000. So it usually, the company that survives some sort of a big crisis is actually get some sort of head start, because there is less competition, less noise. I usually tell people that when you see me raising money, you should sell, because that means that some major effect, catastrophic effect is coming. But at the end of the day, if you can get through a major crisis, then you can actually build a much stronger company.